Good morning. I'm Don Shaw. Welcome to our Unity of Walnut Creek service.
And I'm Danae Legan. Welcome to our service.
Reverend Kristen is here with us in the sanctuary with the third in her Grounding in Unity series, Heart's Desire and Pure Imagination.
Sounds good. Our stream team with us today includes Gus on switch and sound, Steve on camera, and our production manager, Annie. And behind the scenes, always preparing throughout the week, include our musical directors, Tyler and Lisa, and our video directors, Peter and Jack. Thanks so much.
We have something wonderful today. We are very happy to have New Thought musician and songwriter Harold Payne as our guest musician today. Let's join Harold in his home studio with Something Wonderful.
Hello, Unity of Walnut Creek. It's my pleasure to be back here, although this is my first time doing an actual service, and I look forward to coming back when it's in person. This is a sing-along, Something Wonderful. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful, ooh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. And all this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Can you feel it? Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful.
Well, that was Something Wonderful, Harold.
Yeah.
Thank you. Something wonderful is happening here, right now, right now. Let's all take this moment together and ground in unity. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness. Our mission is who we have come here to be. Let's say this together. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. Our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
If you are here with us for the first time, welcome. You're invited to fill out a connection card. Connection cards are available for everyone on the Watch Live page. You may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week. You may also share feedback or request information.
Our classes and events are currently held online and by phone via Zoom. Here are a few important announcements and opportunities.
You're invited to join Jenny Landfield every Sunday at 4 p.m. for an ongoing class called Effortless Meditation with Immediate Results. You will learn a simple, effortless practice and discover the benefits of increasing ease and your capacity to love.
Through contemporary language, receive profound insight into the true nature of reality and true enjoyment of ourselves and others.
Learn how to create a stronger connection with the divine by examining insights in Eric Butterworth's classic Unity book, The Universe is Calling. Reverend Rich Carlini and Bob Hardy will be the instructors.
In this 6-week class, you'll learn how to pray, take charge of your life, and release your imprisoned splendor. This class begins on Monday, February 8th at 7 p.m., and pre-registration is required.
We're excited to offer a new yoga class called Your Yoga, Pathways to the Heart and Beyond. It starts this coming week and will be ongoing every Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 1:45 on Zoom. The class will be led by Annika Sveno, who has created a special invitation to the class. Let's watch.
Hey there, my name's Annika, and I can't wait to join Unity for this special series. We're beginning a pathway to our heart. It's called Your Yoga, Pathways to the Heart and Beyond. So in this class, we're going to start with the Earth series. We have 7 series, as you can see here. And in those series, we're going to work through the channels. So this is Hatha yoga. It's gentle yoga. It's really okay for whatever stage you're at or whatever it is that you're working with. So if you need to come and just be working from a chair to begin, that's going to be okay too. And I recommend that you just come when it's right for you. I love props. So blanket. This is a nice thick Mexican blanket, but something sturdy. If you use a meditation cushion, will work too. Straps, if you like to use those for different binds. And I have blocks as well. I usually like 2, but 1 will do. So join me coming up soon, right at the week of our full moon, and we'll get the flow going. We'll ground in with the earth and move forward to the light. Namaste.
See our website for a full listing and log information for all of our events. And if you're not receiving our weekly email news, use the connection card on the Watch Live page to sign up.
Following our service today, log on to Zoom about 12:45 for a virtual patio conversation. Prayer chaplains will be available to pray with you during this time. You may also wish to discuss our Sunday messages with your community on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. by joining our weekly spiritual growth circle.
Now, as we move into meditation, let's ground with our statement of faith. Let's take a deep breath together, settling into our hearts. And one more deep breath. And please join me. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God.
As we move into meditation, we will begin with a reading by Terry Curtin, followed by music from Harold Payne, followed by Reverend Kristen with our guided meditation and silence.
Today's reading is adapted from the daily work. Dreams. Some of the most bold events in history begin as dreams, born into the imagination of those who understood the potential of humanity and worked to realize their vision. Even if my dreams do not change the world, they had the power to change my life. Today, I remember those whose dreams were empowered by their hard work, faith, and determination. Visionaries as Martin Luther King Jr., whose dream of racial equality is still very much alive today. I look to him and to others for inspiration when my dreams feel far away and feeling low on hope. I recreate and recast my dreams through my imagination, renewing my enthusiasm and activating my strength to remain committed to creating the life and the world of my dreams. I turn my dreams into reality. And so it is.
We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be.
This greatness that is all around me, within me, is touched and called forth in the quiet time, silence with my God. I realize that it is with this power that is available to me, that I partner with the allness of God through the eachness of God that is in me and in all humanity, all life. And my creation begins with an innate power, the power of imagination. I take a moment now to activate that power that is located between my two physical eyes and what is known as the third eye. Or, in Jesus' words, the single eye. Let your eye be single. And with that single eye, we see beyond any physical blockages, things that our physical eyes may see, into the promised land of our country and our world and our lives. We see the possibilities and we feel the enthusiasm of what it is that we are creating and all that we have learned and all the ways that we have grown. Feel the excitement stirring of new beginnings in us. So with that light that is within the region of the third eye that is now expanding from that place throughout our whole being, we let ourselves be flooded with divine light, with vision, possibilities. And we cast that light out forward on our path. Resting now for a few moments in the silence, recentering in the power that co-creates, the power that visions with us, power that acts through us and as us. Now resting in the silence, recharging every cell of our bodies, every tissue of our hearts, every aspect of our minds. In vision and light, in pure imagination, let us rest for these few moments and feel the divine in us in the silence. I can feel the rejuvenation that something greater is happening in me and in my world now. And I align myself fully and completely with that absolute truth of who I am, the divine. With that alignment, nothing can stop the beauty of my vision being realized. Nothing can stop the momentum that is happening all around me and within me. And so I not only cast my vision from the power of imagination within me, but I begin to shape, to do my part, to co-create exactly what it is that wants to be born now. Thank you, God, for my life, for a renewed sense of purpose, and for the enthusiasm with which I carry it out. And so it is.
We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be.
It feels good to just let that truth in, that we are part of something greater. It's where we started our series, actually, with this idea of the allness of God. Now we're in principle number 3, all about co-creation. We start out our Unity Basics class typically, and we did this time online, with a play where it feels like Myrtle and Charles come back to life because the acting is so good, and they really embody the essence of what they are and who they were as they tell their story and also use their words. So in it, my friend Patricia Lansky plays Myrtle Fillmore, and she speaks these words of Myrtle's. God is the one perfect life flowing through us. God is the one pure substance out of which our organism is formed. God is the only reality of us. When we let the light flood us with its sunshine, all clouds vanish, and we begin to see ourselves in new ways that lead us to wholeness and health and unlimited spiritual growth. And after she says this, Charles is standing beside her, and they're looking out, it seems, beyond the audience, out into the horizon, and she says, imagine if everyone knew that about themselves. And Charles says, imagine. And it is out of that pure imagination, that power of imagination and the heart's desire that our co-founders had, that they created the entire Unity movement. Over 1,000 ministries, including our very own, educational programs, the largest international prayer ministry in the world, publications, and the list goes on. All the ways that these ideas, these principles, these practices are given to the world so that we may take them up and make a better world, make a better life for ourselves in knowing the truth about who we are and how we can operate in this world at our best and highest good. So the Fillmores were creating out of their deepest heart's desire and their pure imaginations, right? And they then use the tools to align their thinking and their feelings and to keep aligned with what it is that they envisioned making happen in the world. And to share these principles with people, that, you know, this allness of God, this God that is an ever-present love in the universe. And this idea that the divinity is also within us, that the power is also within us. And then this third principle, this power of co-creativity, that it is by our thoughts and feelings that we co-create our lives and our world. So our spiritual lineage is pretty solid, don't you think? Let's take a look at that third principle so you can really take it in. That we have a slide of that. And so it goes, we co-create our lives through the power of our thoughts and feelings. It'll be said in different ways. You'll see it written different ways. This is my version. But it's basically this idea that we use these tools of our thoughts and feelings to align with the divine and to make the world and the life we want to live in. It's also known, this principle, as the law of mind action. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. And really popularly known as the law of attraction. So you understand probably, or have been exposed to those ideas, that what it is that we hold in our minds and our hearts comes into manifestation in our world. So let's start co-creating. Let's start co-creating by looking at those two essential components that Charles and Fillmore showed us in how to manifest: desire and imagination. So desire, in the old paradigm, in the old way of being, when God was only this thing outside of us, or this man outside of us, and the church's dictates were the only rules to follow, well, back then, desire was spoken of in hushed tones. That was considered a dirty word. But in the current paradigm, desire is the fuel. Desire is the thing that kind of kicks things off often. It's the desires that allow us, that give us sort of some of that juice for the co-creation process to happen. And so we learn, we evolve over time and recognize what it is that actually really works and feels true for us. And everything along the way, you know, in Unity, our teachings are not something that we ask people to swallow whole or to follow as a dogma or a doctrine. They're guidelines. They're the principles that have backing behind them in terms of tried and true experiences that leaders have had with them. And they've allowed us then to have this sort of shape or guideline to follow along the way. So that old way of thinking in what we desired was viewed as separate from God's will. So there was this idea that there's God's will and then there's human desire, and never the two shall meet. But actually what we understand now is that God's will is just the divine bubbling up from within us, from that place of the heart's desire. It's already there for us, and it's a part of the process, a key part of the process. And when we're talking about desire here, it's probably important to say, we're not talking about, you know, the desire I have to eat a whole pint of ice cream right now. That's not exactly what we mean. It's what's underneath that, right? You could even use that as to say, well, what's the desire underneath that? So it's things like, you know, the desire for companionship, friendship, intimacy, connection, the desire for sweetness in our lives, the desire for love, the desire for, and there are other desires, right? A desire for purpose, a desire to make a difference, a desire to contribute. So all of those kinds of things are what we're really talking about when we're talking about heart's desire. Emily Cady was an early writer, Dr. Emily Cady, in the Unity movement. In 1903, she wrote the Unity classic Lessons in Truth. And in it, she describes this idea this way: She said, it's the approach of the thing itself striking you that makes you desire it or even think of it at all. So it's that two-way street, right? So the thing that I am wishing for, desiring, is also looking for me. And there's something that just, the aha that strikes us, the idea that comes forth, the divine idea that falls into our hearts. That's the thing, and that's the place that it has come from, that the impetus to even think it or desire it at all. So the two are playing together. God's will is not something out there. It's a part of the process in us. Co-creating is also ignited then by the power of our imagination. Imagination is one of the 12 powers of humankind, also key teachings in Unity. This idea is that the imagination sits at the third eye. It's that power that can be activated so that we can see from spirit's eye, we can see from the mind's eye and envision what it is that we wish to create. It's also the place through which a vision may come. So, back in the day, we learned a lot about mystics who were having visions. People every day in our current lives have visions, right? And so it's through that power of imagination, through that third eye, that single eye that Jesus talked about, that we see in a different way. We cut through sort of the duality of the world, and we call forth from the invisible realm that which we want to experience here on earth, in the dual realm, in the relative realm. So imagination can also be more than just seeing. It can be feeling, it can be hearing, it can be sensing. Remember Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was tried for all the visions and mystical experiences that she had. And the tribunal asked her, you say that God speaks to you, but that's just your imagination. And she said, how else would God speak to me besides through my imagination? So she was claiming it. Yeah, of course, imagination. That's the power. That's part of the fuel here that has allowed me to experience this essence of God, these visions of God. In The Path of the Holy Fool, Lauren Artris, the local labyrinth expert that consulted on our, she's locally situated, but she's known worldwide as a leader in the modern labyrinth movement. So this recent book that she wrote, The Path of the Holy Fool, is about the labyrinth and so much more. It's a lot about the power of imagination. She writes that when the West shifted from the 13-month lunar calendar to the 12-month solar calendar, that the image of the zodiac that was removed was the spider. Now the spider represents creativity. In the Hindu tradition, the spider represents the feminine. She spins the web out of her body. It becomes a place in which she feeds herself and births her young. And so she is that power, that divine feminine that creates from within and creates in the world, right? So she's really a symbol of creation, co-creation, our personal creativity, our artistry, all of those things. In Native American traditions, the spider is often referred to as grandmother spider, who is revered for her wisdom. So reclaiming our lost sense of creativity is a part of all this. I remember, you notice when these things get removed sort of culturally or religiously, it becomes then sort of the norm of the culture that it's not so important. I remember growing up, my oldest sister was really artistic, and her dreams really were to be an artist. That's what she felt she was and what she wanted to do with her life. And I saw how those dreams faded away because she had no support for it, really. My dad would talk about how art was a hobby, not a career path. And the whole society really supported that same idea. And so those dreams just went to the cutting room floor, so to speak, and never really jumped in. But whatever it is that we are creating, it's not necessarily just what we would call artistry of painting and crafting and all the things that go under that umbrella, but it's also anything that we make is a creation, right? When we make a meal, when we create a garden, when we start a new project, when we write something, when we dance, all of that is creation. When we make a person, the ultimate creativity. So all of that is a part of this reclaiming that if we reclaim this power of co-creativity, that we can do so much more effectively and so much more in a way that can benefit all of us. There's so much joy in the creative process and the products that get created out of it, or the services or the energies that get created out of it. So it's time to reclaim our natural ability to create and start doing it. So how do we do that? Well, we can start with the longing, right? The desires of our hearts. What's sort of knocking on the door of your heart? What is it that you really would like to be doing in your life right now? Or it can be something really simple that you would just I've been wanting, recently I wanted to do soul collage. I'd never done soul collage, and I found I loved it. But it wasn't until I just sat down and did it that I realized that co-creative process that happens with the soul in that process that's different than vision boarding, which I didn't realize until I sat down and did it. So it's that kind of thing, right? It can be something even small, a small activity like that nurtures our creativity and that sparks something new through us and as us. And then we don't even know the ends of how that might play out in our lives, right? Because if we're using something different, maybe the right side of our brain, then that might show up in everyday life in a new way because we've expanded somehow. Co-creativity has no limits, really. It is very expansive in its possibilities. So what is it that you desire? Let's say that you desire a new partner, to attract somebody into your life, a partner, a companion in your life. Or maybe it's that you want to deepen the current relationship that you have. Or maybe it's something for the world. Maybe, you pay attention to, you have a sense of, I want to do something, I want to contribute, but I'm not sure what it is. You can ask yourself, what tugs on my heart? What tugs at the heartstrings? That thing that, the thing that I care about the most is the well-being of children, the safety of our children, or the well-being of animals, or the well-being of the planet. Whatever it is that really is one of those things that really tugs at your heart, that helps see where to go with a co-creative process, how to get started. So we get the longing, we get that sense of the heart's desire, and then we can move to imagination, right? We can begin to activate that third eye, that place where the power of imagination sits, and begin to image it, begin to vision it, begin to see that thing which you have desired. You kind of like kick it upstairs, right? And upstairs you begin to imagine through the mind's eye, what does it look like? And then, there's an interplay going on. And then as you see that vision, when you close your eyes and you begin to see that vision and you see yourself in that scene, then you notice, how does it feel? How do I feel when I'm there? And so there's this sense of going back and forth with the two. What do you see when you see those children that are well cared for, that are safe? What do you see? How does it look for the planet to be well cared for, the animals? Or for you to have that companion, that, what does that person and that experience feel like and look like for you? What joy does it bring? And specifically, what does it look like to be together? What do you do together? How do you spend your time? How does it feel? All of that is a part of this co-creative process. It's not linear because it's creativity, right? Creativity is everywhere. Creativity is a movement of energy. And so we get to move, it's like dance, right? We get to move with the way that the energy, the way that the music lifts us and moves us, the way that our bodies naturally want to go. And so co-creativity is like that. We're moving with the energy of spirit. We have that divine idea that comes up from up here, that falls into the heart, or we have the heart's desire that we bring upstairs to the imagination and we envision it and make it more real. Next week, in the fourth principle, we'll talk more about the power of speaking it into being. We'll touch on that a little bit today. But through the power of affirmative prayer, we make it happen through the power of the word. But this is the beginnings of that co-creativity stirring, right? So the heart and the mind, desire and imagination, they toggle back and forth in this co-creative process. And of course, spirit moving all the way through and in between all those spaces and places within us. So the third thing to do, so we have the longing and the heart's desire idea, we have the imagination, and then we begin to focus, right? To begin to focus our thinking. This is where it really gets, the work really happens, is in the focus. So we begin to focus our thinking on what it is that we have desired and envisioned. And focusing on we want can be especially challenging when what we don't want happens, right? For example, a pandemic, an insurrection. When these things happen, it sort of throws us off, and we get kind of, mired in those feelings and those thoughts of what we didn't want, of what we don't want to happen. And so our work then is to honor that, to honor those feelings, but then to sort of get back on the horse, right? And start aligning with the divine again. What do I want? In fact, sometimes when these things happen, they ignite our passions even more for us to be able to refocus and align once again with the divine. So the good news is that, and if we just stay with our thoughts lined up, it'll all be easy, right? Maybe not easy, but simple, right? So the key, and very plainly spoken here, key by Peter Boxa, who wrote, the point of power says this: if thoughts equal energy, and energy equals matter, then matter equals thoughts. Then thoughts become, instead of ad-libbing, I'm going to read what you're seeing in front of the screen. If thoughts equal energy, and energy equals matter, then thoughts become matter. Observe your thoughts. So that's the whole process, really, that we're working with energy and thought. It becomes matter. And so the key is to pay attention to what we're thinking, also what we're feeling. We'll get to that in a minute. When you notice your mind has wandered into lack and limitation, into the things that are not going to help you, you can simply shift and you can bring those thoughts back to the reason why you're doing it, right? What was that again? What was that desire I had? Oh, right, to keep the children safe. And so you see, you fall back into that and you go, oh yeah, and then you get that energy once again stirring in you, that passion once again, and then you envision it again, and then you begin to think in that way once again. So it's just a slight shift sometimes that we can do to get back to what it is that we want to co-create. And again, it's not like we're constantly intending this. I think about when I take people out on our nature immersions, we spend a lot of times the whole morning setting our intentions. But then it's not like, you should go about walking and sitting under the trees and whatever it is that you do that day, focus on I got to remember my intention. I got to remember my intention. It's not so much like that. It's like we just then go about our lives. But we pay attention. We observe our thoughts, as Peter Boxa said, and notice really when they go astray. So how many of you, I wonder, I wish I could see by a show of hands, know the book, The Little Engine That Could? A little childhood book. Oh, see, the hands are in the room. Excellent. It was one of my very favorite childhood books. And I see why now, because it is pure unity. So in the book, there's a train. It's filled with toys and food for the children, and it's going to go over the mountain to deliver it. But the engine breaks down. And the toys get out of the train and start flagging down help because the engine has died and they need another engine to get them over the mountain so the children can play with them and they can have the good food delivered to them. And so the first train that they flag down is a brand new shiny engine, but that engine wants nothing to do with them. It's, basically acts like it's too good for them and carries on. And the next engine is really big, but it too sort of kind of, looks down its train-like nose and carries on and won't help. The third one is just plain too old and too tired and can't get over the mountain anymore. But the last one that comes is the little engine. And the little engine, with a heart of desire to help, really wants to help. But she is awfully little. And it doesn't really look like she can actually get up over that mountain, that she has that diesel power. But she goes ahead and says, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And she hitches to that train. And as she's chugging up the mountain, that's what she's chanting over and over again. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And she gets over the mountain. And once the toys and the food are delivered to the children, she says, I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. And that story is really the essence of this principle. Knowing, thinking it into being. I can. We can. We will. We are. It's happening. The little engine that could is you and me. And the thoughts fuel our ability to move in the positive direction, to climb up the mountain, to fulfill our heart's desires and deliver the goods, so to speak. Just as our mind and heart work together co-creatively in this partnership, so too do our thoughts and feelings, the byproducts of our heart and mind, right? So there's this interplay between them as well. They're so closely woven that a lot of times it's too hard to tell, did I think that before I started feeling this way, or did I start feeling this way and then think that story up, or whatever it is that is reinforcing the feeling. So they just kind of intertwine with one another. It's sort of the chicken and the egg kind of question. And so then finally, we've had these three, the longing, the imagination. By the way, this spells life, so it's an easy way to remember it. And then this last one is engaging our feelings, or you can remember it as emotions, but engaging our feelings throughout the process. So reconnecting with our heart's desire along the way will reignite those feelings, as I mentioned, and help us speak it into being. You could think of the feelings as the oil in the engine, a necessary part, right, to keep the engine running smoothly so it doesn't break down on the tracks. Something we aren't feeling anymore because our desire sometimes has either already been fulfilled or we've just changed. Sometimes that happens too, and so that's part of our feeling too, and maybe that's happened to you. Have you ever, you dreamed of something and it finally came to fruition and you were like, yeah, I don't think I really want that anymore. And so if we stay attuned to what it is that we are feeling, we'll realize sooner that that's not the direction we're going anymore. So finally, let's just take a look at these quickly just so you can get a snapshot of these, not really steps, because again, it's not necessarily linear, but I have it laid out in a way that makes it easy to remember as the acronym LIFE. So the longing in your heart, what is that longing? The imagination, imagining it already fulfilled. The focus on thinking what it is that you want, and then staying engaged with your feelings throughout the process. Harold Payne puts it all together beautifully in his song, very aptly named, Law of Attraction. Let's watch.
Got my engine running with my own thoughts as fuel. I'm making the decision to follow my vision as a divinely inspired tool. I'm gonna wake up feeling good and grateful for the day. 'Cause it's up to myself to create happiness and wealth with what I think and say. And I'm living the law of attraction. 'Cause no thoughts held in mind produce after their kind and give me the ultimate satisfaction. I know my heart is open and my focus is strong. And the things start to happen when my brain's taking actions to move it along. We're all here for a reason, a divine purpose on earth. It's our gift to the world to let that purpose unfurl for all that we're worth. That's why we're living the law of attraction. 'Cause I know thoughts held in mind produce after their kind and give the ultimate satisfaction. And we use our imagination to send out vibration to bring us to our destiny. That's why we're living the law of attraction, yeah. 'Cause thoughts held in mind produce after their kind and give me the ultimate satisfaction. Yes, we are living the law of attraction, yeah. As I know thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, give me the ultimate satisfaction. 'Cause thoughts held in mind produce after their kind and give the ultimate satisfaction.
You know, all this talk of creativity, and we say co-create. So what do we mean? We never act alone. We are co-creating with spirit, we are co-creating with others, and we are co-creating, playing in this field of infinite possibility. Quantum physicists call it the 0-point field, and they also speak of it as a subatomic world of pure potentiality. Greg Braden calls it the divine matrix, and Abraham, through Esther Hicks, calls it the vortex. She implores us to ask the question, what's in your vortex? It's really about how aligned are you with the divine and what it is that you desire and that you are wanting to bring forth. So we can ask ourselves questions like, how do I feel? Because it's that feeling nature that will give a sense of where we are on that vibrational scale. If we feel joyful, if we feel in the flow, those are keys that we're on the right track, so to speak. So what is it that you love to do that maybe mirrors that feeling for you? This helps me to recognize I love to swim. And so when I'm swimming, I feel like I'm really in the divine flow with the rhythmic strokes and the breathing, and especially when the sun filters in through the water, I feel like I'm in the flow of the divine and immersed in divine light. That feeling for me is very much a similar feeling to when things are clicking along in my life in a way that feels like I'm in that divine alignment. So maybe there's some activity for you that you do that gives you that sense of flow. Maybe you're working on art or music and you get lost in that creative flow. You know that feeling, and so you can use that as sort of a sense of, yeah, what's that feeling? Am I having that feeling? Or maybe go do that activity to help you sort of spur on that feelings. So whatever that is that invokes the feeling for you, do more of that. So as we engage in the process now of co-creativity, we have something really working for us. We've got an extra boost of energy like none I've ever known in my lifetime, because there is this collective spiritual awakening happening. There's a sense of innovation and creativity and possibility percolating. It feels like firing on all cylinders. And so we can, as we co-create now, we have all that energy sort of boosting us. Brenly just co-created a couple of things that she's been holding in mind and heart for some time. She got transferred from Union City, which was a very long commute in Kaiser, to Walnut Creek, which has been her desire for a long time. I see Annie praising out of the corner of my eye. And she also had another thing that she was wanting to manifest that went along with this job transfer, which was an electric bike. And so she has now purchased an electric bike, and it brings her so much joy. She's like a child with it, and it's really fun to watch. So it's mostly fun to ride alongside her, except for when we get to those hills and she engages the pedal assist and she sails over the hill, and I huff and puff on my old manual bike to try to catch up. And so that energy boost is much like that. It's like we're all on an electric bike right now instead of a manual. And so it's that we get that boost to move forward in what it is that we are desiring, what it is that we are imagining for our world and for our individual lives and for the people around us that we care about. So imagine yourself just hopping aboard that electric bike, and you don't even have to turn the pedal assist on because it's on. It's full blast, and you can just cruise down the road toward what it is that we are creating. So whatever it is that is knocking on the door of your heart, I encourage you to open it up and see if you might not be willing. I'm not going to say ready, because a lot of times we don't feel ready, but willing to step in and to allow that to be manifested in your life, to call forth from that infinite, absolute, invisible realm into the visible material realm, that thing that only you can really manifest the way that you can. So if somebody else does it, it won't be the same thing, because it is through your heart, through your mind, through your own co-creative and unique soul expression that thing can come forth in a way that it can't benefit others in the same way. Hope that makes sense. So whatever it is, we can imagine it in its completeness and then think and feel it into its being. And then we all can benefit from it. Your best co-creative tools are right here, your heart and your mind. And so to use those, we become like the little engine that could. I think I can, and so I do. I feel I can, and so I do. Let's know this truth together as we practice co-creativity throughout the week and beyond. Together? I co-create through the desire of my heart and the power of my imagination. I think I can, so I do. Blessings.
Me of all the different times I have literally co-created miracles in my life, and so I'm going to set my imagination on fire now and see what comes next. Whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, our prayer chaplains are available to provide prayer support during the virtual patio conversation after the service. You may also contact them by completing a connection card on the Watch Live page, or click on Prayer Request at the bottom of the homepage. Our prayer team will be praying with you throughout the week.
Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. Our spiritual home thrives with your continued generosity. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
In addition to sending checks through regular mail or direct deposit through your bank, there are 2 ways to give online. You may click on the Donate button on the Watch Live page or download the Give app. Give is spelled G-Y-V-E.
I invite you to join with me in our prosperity affirmation. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
If you found what you wanted, you wouldn't hesitate. Whether it's choosing your job or choosing your mate, if you don't put some time, love, and energy into yourself, you'll end up leaving your decisions to somebody else. I wanna know now, whose life do you think it is anyway? You know that life is a gift to you, so why would you give it away? You can settle for a fast food restaurant or go for the sumptuous buffet. Oh, whose life do you think it is anyway? You are the master of your future. It's not all left to fate. We just keep moving forward as we learn from our mistakes. And even if it takes a little while to find your own way, you got to do it till you get it right, like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. I wanna know now, whose life do you think it is anyway? You know that life is a gift to you, so why would you give it away? You can settle for a fast food restaurant or go for the sumptuous buffet. Oh, whose life do you think it is anyway? Oh, who are we not to be all that we could ever be? Every step that we take with intention and faith brings us closer to the real you and me. I wanna know now, whose life do you think it is anyway? You know that life is a gift to you, so why would you give it away? You can settle for a fast food restaurant or go for the sumptuous buffet. Oh, whose life do you think it is anyway? Hey, whose life do you think it is anyway? Hey, whose life do you think it is anyway?
Harold Payne, but also Don and Danae for being our facilitators today. And Harold, if you want to learn a little bit more about his music, you can visit him at haroldpaynemusic.com. So now, as we bless our offerings, as always, we are not just blessing the gift and all those that will benefit from the gift, but also the givers of the gift. So a big heartfelt thanks to each of you for your generosity in supporting our ministry and knowing that that blessing comes back multiplied hundreds of times over. So let's bless our gifts together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. And so let's also bless our frontline workers who continue tirelessly. I think about all the stories I've seen of the nurses and the doctors and the long shifts and the layers of protective equipment, and just want to say a big, big thank you to all of them and to all of you who may work in that capacity. So let's bless our frontline workers. Together, we frontline workers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. And as we move to our children's section, once again, the children meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. And as has been our regular, fully anticipated week-by-week event, Maddie and Millie have another video for us. Let's take a look.
Hi, Unity. It's Maddie and Millie. And last week with the Unity kids, we learned about the 3 P's: pause, pray, and proceed. So we are going to show you 3 good ways you can use the 3 P's.
Pause, pray, proceed.
Oh, there's another American dog. Hey, let's go. How can I log onto my Zoom? I can't submit my math test.
Pause, pray, proceed.
Now it works. Yahoo! Hi, teacher. That's what a beautiful day.
Pause, pray, proceed.
Well, thanks to Maddie and Millie, Michelle, and John Nichols, who also added those words so that we could really get the lesson. These are the gurus I'm going to be studying under from now on. Their lessons are really great in a minute or less. You might like that too. So let's pray for all of the children everywhere in our world as we speak our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. Well, we always want to encourage you to stick around to the end of the service because it's super fun to see all the wavies of the folks in our community and make that connection. And we always invite you to send in more. So you can do that by sending your silent waving video or still photo to office@unityofwalnutcreek.org. And now, our peace song.
Present
remember this as we close out. You are the light and the love and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine, have fun, and spread joy. Have a great week, everyone.
1, 2, sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing that I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing that I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep rolling if I just keep it knowing that I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep rolling if I just keep it knowing I'm always on the bright side, the sunny light side. Sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Every step I make my own sunshine. Every step I make my own sunshine. Every step sunshine, I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Sunshine, I make my own sunshine. 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 I make